to Season 3, Episode 32 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing TheaterWorks Hartford's production of Lizzie, a rock concert in 40 whacks, with music by Stephen Cheslik-Demeyer and Alan Stephen Hewitt, lyrics by Cheslik-Demeyer and Tim Maynor, book and additional music by Maynor, additional lyrics and orchestrations by Stephen Hewitt, and based on an original concept by Cheslik-Demeyer and Maynor, directed by Lainie Sakakura, running through October 22nd at TheaterWorks Hartford at 233 Pearl Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Before we get started, I'd like to thank all of my financial benefactors, and if you'd like to support my channel, please visit my Patreon page. A link will be in the description. This is the second new theater piece based on Lizzie Borden and the Borden House murders that I've seen in about 8 months' time. The last one being Bedlam's production of Fall River Fishing, which is a totally different animal than what I saw this past Thursday night at TheaterWorks Hartford. Lizzie, of course, follows the notorious Lizzie Borden, played by Sydney Shepherd, who was charged for the murders of her father and stepmother, who were hacked to pieces with a hatchet in 1892. The musical has 3 other characters: Lizzie's sister, Emma Borden, played by Courtney Bassett, her neighbor, Alice Russell, played by Kim Onah, and the maid, Bridget Sullivan, played by Nora Schell. The 95-minute musical plays pretty close to some details and plays a bit loose with others, but it is all part of, pardon the pun, executing the feminist power narrative of the story. In this version, Lizzie's father has been sexually abusing her, something that has never been confirmed. He also would chop off the heads of pigeons in the barn that Lizzie had built a roost for, which has been confirmed and definitely true. In this version, Lizzie and Alice are lovers, which has never been confirmed, but definitely adds to the dramatic tension of the story, as Alice is called by investigators as a witness in the second act. Regardless, much of Lizzie is atmospheric representations of the story, told through a fantastic rock score by Cheslik-Demeyer and Stephen Hewitt. It may be because it is where some of my musical interests lie, but I love the blend of sleazy, dirty Hollywood Sunset Strip rock mixed with New York punk. It captures the nihilistic nature of Lizzie's mental state as she drifts further into her eventual murderous rage. And oh, yes, the harmonies are awesome, which the 4 women sing with fantastic precision. It's not all raucous rock, as there are a couple nice ballad moments too, as Lizzie sings about escaping her oppressive life and finds some sense of liberty and freedom, which has been stripped from her and her sister, as when the musical begins, Emma announces that their stepmother has had their father's will altered to disinherit them both. Another historical fabrication, but one that Maynor easily explains away later that I think works well. So yeah, if you're looking for historical accuracy, it's a mixed bag, but that really isn't the intent here. Lizzie is using the Lizzie Borden story to create an empathetic connection with a woman who is abused and oppressed by her father and stepmother to the point of retaliation through violence to potentially empower those who have been in similar situations. This does leave a series of moral quandaries for the audience. Do we condone Lizzie's actions? And if so, would we condone similar actions if they happen today? Is this fantasy fulfillment for those who know better but have felt the rage that Lizzie has given into? And who do we identify among Emma, Alice, and Bridget when it comes to either defending Lizzie or standing witness against her? I imagine that most audience members are going to have an array of conclusions, both positive and negative. These reactions shouldn't be perceived as either right or wrong, as I feel in this instance we're all going to react based upon our own moral foundations to what could be perceived as justifiable homicide, or temporary insanity, or just flat-out murder. Creating that sense of moral dilemma for the audience is why I think Lizzie works, but uncomfortably so, which art shouldn't be afraid to do from time to time. As far as the performances go, all 4 ladies rock. I think it would have benefited them to not have handheld mics, something which I have a general disdain for when it comes to musicals, unless it's a jukebox show or a musical where the scene is set on a concert stage where microphones are natural parts of the scene. Yes, Lizzie is designed in a concert format with trusses that have like concert lights kind of set up, but I don't think it works here. I find handheld microphones in theater tend to be more of a hindrance for actors than an asset. Still, Sydney Shepherd captures the look and attitude of a woman who is fracturing at the constant abuses she receives from her home life. Her transformation to the killer she becomes in the first act is laced with tragedy and lamentation. It's an excellent performance. The supporting ladies are also all excellent, especially Nora Schell, whose brassy vocals rock the house. Also, I'm not one to call out dialect work often in productions unless they're abhorrent, but wow, Schell nails Bridget's Irish accent, and Johanna Morrison's work as dialect coach is to be commended. Lizzie is going to evoke a wide array of reactions, both positive and negative. Some people are going to question the legitimacy of using someone who almost surely butchered two people as the foundation of a story for inspiring people who want freedom, while others will find an empathetic connection and maybe find some catharsis for their own lives. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Lizzie, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Thank you again to my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to support my channel, a link to my Patreon page will be in the description. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be 100 Words for Snow at Connecticut Repertory Theater. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.